This video is the prey code of hunter-gatherers. I had to do it this way now because I have to file charges because August 8 to August 11, I was terminated at Dunkin' Donuts all the way north. I went all the way north away from the people who are on drugs who stalked me and robbed me. I'm trying to just work because my mother sent me to work when I was 16 in the summer for the government of Jamaica. I experienced public defamation. People were calling me dirty, etc. Well, we had one American outcome where my children were killed and other gifted people in the family are now PhDs. So the American system has these traps and you fall through the cracks and you don't know what's happened. Here's my son safe in my mother's house. Me and my family, there's my grandmother in this circle right here, my son and me, my mother, and we would be safe in Canada or the UK. But the United States system has this process which Time Done and Black Lives Matter speaks about. Now, we are gleaners, Jamaicans are gleaners, and I told you all the facts about gleaners and what the Queen did with Cambridge University in our high schools. The crimes against children and crimes against women, they put me into this betrayal because of this building program that Jehovah's Witness had when I was 10 years old. The conflict was that I was a brownie, which is like a Girl Scout. Now, my son was not allowed to go to talk to a judge, or my son's situation where he was tested at Hagan Ranch Elementary School, and he was in the gifted program. We were not allowed to go to divorce court. So this was the house where they were safe. I was a computer operator before this in Miami. So the judge would have told me to go to work. This is my son. He did everything by the time he was 6 years old. He was tested and put in the gifted program, and we were not allowed to go for a judge. This is the school where he was tested, Hagan Ranch Road Elementary School. And he was told he was gifted. This is my nephew who is also gifted. He goes back to his high school and speaks because our core values are that we appreciate a good education. We have loyalty to our schools. He went to Oxford and he has a PhD now. But we didn't go to divorce court and we fell through the cracks of the American system. But I think it's by design of hunter-gatherers. Here's my son, again, where they told you he was tested, gifted at 6 years old, just like my nephew. A lot of things happened during this time. It's a lot of conflict from the beginning. When they came to my house in Jamaica, it was a conflict because Jamaicans are gleaners and Americans are hunter-gatherers. This is a lot of lists of conflict. So it really culminated in me going to do a police report in Delray Beach because I had my highs and lows in Delray Beach where I worked for the city. I was very successful, and then I was stalked and robbed so much. This is about the conflict again between what we were and what America had to offer. And this is one of my highs when I was working. But if I'm going to have a problem with public defamation all the way up north, Palm Beach County, I will not be able to rise again. They will continue to peel me on the prey code. On the prey code, when those slaves were on ships, they were treated like prey. But of course, the Africans who stalked the other tribes and put them on the slave ship, they are also to blame. That's why the African Americans here are such stalkers, because they stalked in Africa. So these are the hunter-gatherers. This is a white hunter-gatherer, the African hunter-gatherer. These are some overkill, which we backslid since COVID into overkill. Well, the Americans backslid into overkill. This was my school. It was an Anglican high school for girls only. It was a little more expensive where I studied French for 7 years. Before I went to elementary school, my mother sent me to a prep school where they use a belt. So I was not gifted, but I had the core values, the importance of education and learning. This is what the little Jamaican schools before elementary school look like. They have little uniforms and a lot of discipline with belts. I feel that the way they import exotic animals and hunt them in Texas It's part of the prey code, and so the prey code is synonymous with hunter-gatherers. I did try to talk to the anthropology department at FAU, sociology department, and social work. The Underground Railroad did go to Canada because Canada was a free country. That's where I was supposed to go to university. That's why I studied French. And it appears to me that whites are giving me to the African Americans because the African Americans stalk me so much. Even all the way up in North Palm Beach County, they're up there bullying me and doing public defamation. My dad is a Cuban fighter. My dad was a Cuban fighter and a mechanic in the Royal Air Force. And they put me in the Brownies, which is like Girl Scouts. Harvard Business Review does admit that there are various cultures. Now we have to deal with them since G20 and globalization. There are certain cultures, assumptions, and norms which we will have to face. This is some of the stalking I've experienced. I just try to take pictures of people. I'm back to some lists of prey code, examples of the things that happen, but the Jehovah's Witnesses subjugated us, which was really worse than, which is just as bad as the prey code. I've experienced poisoning, bioterrorism, bullying, abuse, public defamation, and firing on the job. This was my job with the city of Delray Beach. I have a very strong government resume, starting in Jamaica and working for the European Union, city and the state. But I experienced this kind of destruction. Yeah, that's the girl who bullied me out of my job with the city of Delray Beach. I'm sure she did not have as much government experience as me. But I still believe, after working with the European Union, I feel that the motherland is still right. And this is another African American state trooper. They did a series of overkill for my ex-husband. Instead of divorce court, they came on my property. They were able to get rid of my Honda Accord by stalking me and ticketing it back to back. After a false arrest and peeling, here come the sheriff, 6:45 a.m. Saturday morning when I'm working in Boca Raton. That's very early in the morning, so I guess it's a kind of conflict. I feel that there are gangs in authority because the state troopers gang upon me, and it seems like even cashiers and bus drivers, I have a conflict with them. I've never experienced them. I've been in this country for 40-something years. Since 1978, I was attending Miami-Dade Community College. I still feel that there's some chance for the motherland. The independent advisory boards, which they advise, if they were in every city, we might be able to get some kind of justice clarification, or some of our assumptions can be clarified. Now, by coincidence, these men were in the city of Delray Beach Library, and they cannot do videos. No, they had a conflict with the United States, and I have a conflict with the United States. And you see how I'm addressing my conflict. I spent 3 days with them in West Delray. They're still here. The others killed themselves, but I'm doing the videos because I'm certain this is conflict management should take place for the future. I feel that The Hague would be the best court, the ICC would be the best court, because I feel that they have a kind of dispose system now. They're disposing of people, and especially the fact that O.J. Simpson killed his wife, and people did not realize that the other African American police support him because he's popular in sports. He has sports fans. So the police are a sports fan and they kill his wife. This is images for dispose, how they want to dispose of women, and degrade women. Hal Draper, anthropologist, really explained about social control used by hunter-gatherers. Said he used gossip, shunning, ridicule, ostracism, public debate, and I experienced the bullying and public defamation. So I tried to talk to FAU anthropology department to try to get some kind of clarification. And this is all I have is this video at this time.